The night was cold and unforgiving as I stepped out of the library, finally done with my late-night study session. The streets were empty, and the city's lights seemed to cast eerie shadows on the pavement. As I made my way to the subway station, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The darkness seemed to close in around me, and every sound made me jump. I descended the stairs to the platform, the dim lights flickering above me. The station was unusually deserted for this time of night, and an unsettling feeling washed over me. Ignoring my growing unease, I reminded myself that it was just a regular subway ride home. Nothing to be afraid of. The train arrived, and I stepped inside the almost empty car. As the doors closed behind me with a heavy thud, I felt a shiver run down my spine. I tried to push away the nagging feeling that I was being watched, but it persisted like a constant whisper in my ear. The rhythmic sound of the train on the tracks did little to soothe my nerves. Instead, it seemed to amplify the silence around me. I glanced around the car, half expecting to see another passenger, but there was no one. Just me and the darkness. The subway train continued on its route, and with each passing minute, my anxiety grew. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was not alone. The shadows danced on the walls, creating unsettling shapes that played tricks on my mind. I tried to distract myself with my phone, but even the screen seemed to reflect the eerie atmosphere. Finally, my stop was announced. I was relieved to get off the train, eager to escape the oppressive feeling that had settled over me. But as I stepped onto the platform, my heart skipped a beat. There, just a few feet away, stood a woman. Her appearance was disheveled, and her clothes were torn and tattered. Her hair was a wild mess, and she seemed to be muttering to herself. Fear clenched at my chest, and I felt a chill run down my spine. I couldn't see her face clearly, but her hollow eyes sent a shiver through me. I wanted to turn and run, but I was frozen in place. The woman seemed to be staring right through me, and I couldn't tear my gaze away. In a split second, I made a decision. I let out a scream, hoping that someone, anyone, would hear me and come to my aid. The sound echoed through the empty station, and my heart pounded in my ears. Without waiting to see if anyone responded, I turned and ran down the platform, my footsteps echoing loudly. I reached the exit of the subway, gasping for breath, and stumbled out onto the street. The cold night air hit me like a slap in the face, but I didn't stop running. I didn't dare look back, afraid of what I might see. I reached my apartment building, my heart still racing, and rushed inside. I locked the door behind me, feeling a bit safer within the confines of my home. I immediately called the police, my voice shaking as I tried to explain what had happened. The police assured me that they would look into it, but I couldn't shake the feeling of dread that clung to me. I couldn't sleep that night, the images of the woman's haunting eyes and disheveled appearance haunting my thoughts. The next day, I picked up the newspaper, my curiosity getting the best of me. There, buried on one of the pages, was a small article about a woman who had escaped from a nearby asylum. They had caught her at the very subway station I had been at last night. Relief washed over me, but the fear still lingered. Was it just a coincidence that I had encountered the escaped woman? Or was there something more sinister at play that night? I may never know for sure, but one thing is certain, I'll never forget that terrifying encounter on the night subway.